Hi friends, my name is Shirley and today we'll be doing some soft pink color changing nails. This is the final hand that we'll be working on. You can see that when it is warm, this polygel is a milky white. When it's cold, it'll have this soft pink look. It's BUT number 021. I know that says red. It's not gonna look red. It's really more of a hot pink or bright pink, with the milky white being the vast majority of the nail when your hands are warm. We also have the Beauty base and top coat. I don't have a particular preference for this brand. This is just the kit that I got and it came with the top and base coat. And we also have these 4 shades of pink glitter that I just happen to have. I will end up using the second shade of glitter. It has a few different colors mixed in there with like yellows and blues. And look, the index finger is magically done. Now, this is my first time using this camera and light setup, and the index finger came out way too blurry. So we're skipping that and we'll jump right in and show you some of the other glitters and confettis that I'll be using. We have here some nice little shards of shimmery plastic with this top pink color will be the one that we're using today. We really want to lean into the pink shades because the vast majority of the time, this is going to be a milky white color on your hands. We also have all these sparklies. I fell in love with these because there's little metal bits, there's half circles, there's shiny gems, there's little stars. Let me pour some out so you guys can see how this looks. So you can see all the different options mixed in here. I will always go for a sparkly blend of things. There's some squiggly lines in there too. So this was super cute. I'll probably grab some stuff out of here to use. Let's put that away. Pretty. Now I also have this cute crown dappen dish. I don't know why it's called a dappen dish, D-A-P-P-E-N, but you can look some up yourself. I always just use 70% rubbing alcohol as my slip solution. I do have some actual slip solution around, but I like what the rubbing alcohol does in terms of control over the polygel. So we've got that set up, and we're gonna go ahead and file down the base of our nails. I've already pushed my cuticles back, so now we're just trying to roughen up the surface of the nails so that the base coat will stick really well and won't get lifted. Now I'm just using the rubbing alcohol to kind of wipe any dust off. So here you get to see me trying to put together a look. I am very indecisive, so this is just going to be a whole lot of me playing around with different designs and trying to make something look good. I started off with the squiggly line. I loved the squiggly line. Then I hated the squiggly line, so I tried again. So here we get to see Shirley being super indecisive. Now I want to take a second and explain the short nails. I know that really long polygel nails are popular right now and they're gorgeous, but I have a job that's real heavy on the typing and I have to be like really fast with my typing. So the longer nails really do slow me down. I'm sure some people can get real great at using the long nails when typing. I'm not there. So I'm sticking to the short nails. It's just more practical for me. So now that we've picked a design for our thumbnail, I'm putting down some base coat. I need to make sure that I don't have any base coat on my skin, so I'm just wiping that with a silicone stick. Now we'll use what are these called? These little stickers. Nail form, that's what it's called. So we'll use these nail forms. I have tried using dual forms, but I have a very hard time controlling the amount of polygel in my dual form. I always end up with bubbles or polygel squishes out everywhere. So I learned that I personally really like using these nail forms because I can see exactly how much polygel I've got on the surface of my nail, and I can really easily course correct, and I'll see the issues before I nuke it. So we'll go ahead and start putting down our pink temperature sensitive polygel, and I'll start spreading that around on the thumbnail, being very careful not to get that on the cuticle. You don't want the color touching your nail, or rather touching your skin, or it will lift right up as soon as you wash your hands the next time or do your hair, and it'll get stuck on everything. And you can see, because the rubbing alcohol is cold, right now the polygel is the soft pink color that it will look whenever it's cold. So the tips of your nails will end up this soft pink. But as soon as I go into the nail lamp and come back out, you'll see the whole thing turns milky white for the heat. Now I'm making my little tip here. I will be shaping this with a nail file when I'm done, but the more shaping I do now, the less filing I have to do later. I don't use a like a rotary drill type nail file. I hate that feeling of the file on your fingers, so it very much gives me the nails on chalkboard vibe, so I hate that. So for that reason, I use a manual nail file. We're gonna snip this little bit off. Oop, that's trash. But you can see our milky white nail now. It looks really cute. I'm gonna wipe the underneath of the nail, the underside, and get that back into the nail lamp just to make sure that it's fully cured. And here we go with our manual nail file. So you can see I only have to do a little bit of filing since I made sure to shape this really well the first time around. We'll file the top down as well to make sure it's all smooth and evenly shaped. There we go. And just making sure that we are not too thick on any side. There's a little bit of a lip here. I'm going to try to file that off, like a little sharp bit. And I have very long hair. I don't want that getting stuck in my hair. Let's wipe some of the dust off. Some of the nail file grit that came off because I use cheap nail files. You can see the tip of the nail is starting to turn pink from the cold rubbing alcohol. Cool. Love it. Nice and smooth. Gorgeous. Alrighty. Let's get to decorating. I ended up with this 3-gem design. I really wanted to use one of those half circles, so I forced that in there somehow. And we've got a couple of little metal leaves too that I thought looked very cute. So we're just going to stick these into our top coat. And we're not going to cover them up with top coat. I used to do that because I'm always nervous about these falling off. But if you cover the top of gems with top coat, you no longer see the facets in the gems. So they just look like flat pink or whatever color circles. They're not really sparkly anymore. So if you can avoid putting top coat over the gems, that's better. And we're going to use our little wax stick here to pick up and drop the pieces. And what I love about some of this UV controlled nail polish and gel is you don't really have to rush here. Your top coat might drizzle a little bit down the side of your nail, so that's really the only thing you have to watch for. Other than that, you can scooch things around as much as you need to, and it's not going to harden up on you until you stick it under that nail lamp. So we've got our little half circle by the base of the nail. We'll get our gems. Each gem is a different size, so we're going down in size. And then we'll put our little metal leaves on either side. Cute. Now I want to take a second while I'm finishing up this design and just remind you that you are important, you are special, and you are unique. Never forget that. You're important to all the people around you, and you're important to me. Even if we don't know each other, the fact that you are here listening to my voice right now connects us. All that is good within me honors and loves all that is good within you. Make sure you take the time to appreciate yourself. I believe in you. And I believe this nail is gorgeous. Let's get that under the nail lamp. I'm just adjusting the focus here a little bit. Do not adjust your television set. We are experiencing technical difficulties. I'm really admiring this because I absolutely love this little design. Oh, I think I need to scooch something over. Boop boop. And let's nuke that. Great, done there. I do have a couple of little pieces of the metal sticking out that will absolutely get stuck in my hair and clothes. So I'm going to use the top coat, not on the gems, but on the little corners of the metal and around the back of the metal U-shape, just to seal it off and get rid of any hidden areas where fabric or hair can get stuck. So we're smoothing that out to protect ourselves and our nail later. And here's the finished nail. And there's the index finger. So we are going to go back and take a quick look at the index finger. Like I said before, this section of the video is a little blurry and I apologize for that. I'm still new to the whole video thing, so it took me a while to realize how to make this look good and clear. So not so crisp, but at least you can see how I'm doing the design. I've already got base coat on here, so I'm going to go ahead and skip to the polygel. It again will come out pink and it'll look milky white after we nuke it. Spread that out. Try to get it as thin as you can. Now, I once heard on another YouTube channel, I think it's called Nail Career Education. I can add a link in my description to them in case you want to check them out. But I once heard them say that you can tell a really well done nail or a really good nail tech by how smooth the gel or acrylic kind of blends in to the back of the nail where the cuticle is. So keeping that really thin and like a smooth transition instead of a chunky bit, that took me a while to really be able to do because When you first start using polygel, you just kind of feel like you have to go thicker than you really do. There's a fear that it's going to crack. But if you think about it, your natural nail is super thin and super strong. This polygel stuff, yes, it's fake. It's, you know, it's a manufactured material, a non-natural material, but it's still going to be strong enough that it matches the strength of a fingernail, I would think. Maybe a little more. So you don't have to go super thick. So here we are scooping our little nail glitter. Again, little blurry, but you can see that this nail glitter is predominantly pink, but it does have some glitters in there that are yellow or blue shades or purpley. So it has a lot going on, and I really liked that. I do have to edit myself a lot because I will go whole hog, tons of rainbow, every color, all the sparkles, all the things on my nails. So being able to use a nail glitter that looks like one cohesive design but has a bunch of colors in it is a great way to satisfy that need for everything in me. So after we nuked it, we are gonna do a top layer of clear polygel. This is Astound brand clear polygel. It's a little runnier, I've noticed, than a lot of my other polygels, but that works really well when you want a very thin top layer to seal the glitter in. Again, I don't want the glitter, you know, flying off everywhere or getting stuck in hair, etc. So we're gonna seal that off with a nice thin layer of the clear coat. It looks cloudy now, but if you're not used to polygels, I can tell you that once you put this under the nail lamp and file it down and get a top coat on there, it's going to look crystal clear again. So I'm taking my time and patting that out. I feel like I might have too much on here. I have a tendency to do that, so I might have to scrape some of that off so that I can keep my nails short. Let's get the sides there, a bit of a weird angle. And let's scrape some of the glitters off that ended up sticking out over the cuticle. I probably should have cleaned that up before I nuked the nail, but that's okay. This stuff is still malleable, so we're gonna remove that and clean the edges up a little bit better. There. We're almost done with the blurry bit, everybody. Thanks for being patient with me. We'll go back to a nice crisp look to the video in a second. I mean, not that the crisp look was all that great anyway. I am using really inexpensive stuff and tools here, but it'll be decidedly less blurry. Okay, we've definitely gotten a little too long here for my personal tastes. So I'm gonna scooch some of that back and maybe wipe some of it off. There we go. We'll trim it off actually after we, or when we start. Oh, got some stuck there. Does that happen to you guys, or is it just because I use cheap things? Bah, there we go. We'll trim off the excess, it's okay. Let's get the underside cured as well. Now I skip through these bits because it's really just boring looking at nothing while I nuke the nail. But just so you guys know, every time I nuke it, I am putting it under the UV lamp for 1 minute. So I do 60 seconds for the polygel, and then I flip the nail over. I hold my nail in there upside down and do another minute. You probably only need to do 30 seconds for the underside to make sure that it's fully cured, but I go a full minute just because I get nervous that if I have a thicker layer of gel, I want to make sure that that's totally cured. If you're doing like a top coat, that layer alone might only need 30 to 60 seconds. You should read the instructions on your particular top coat. I do, again, a full 60 seconds for my top coat and my base coat, just because I get paranoid about underdoing these things. So we're trimming the nail back a little bit so that we can avoid having to do too much filing. There we go. I'm loving the colors in this nail. Now I noticed a couple of glitters sticking out here, so I want to just scrape those off real quick and maybe cut off the extra if they're sticking out like halfway. There we go. Clean that up. Sorry for going off screen a little bit there. Again, still getting used to staying in the right frame. Smooth that out a little more. Get the corners down. I like this cross between a squoval and a coffin-shaped nail. I love the coffin-shaped nails, but since it is a very short nail, it ends up kind of being like a squat coffin or a squoval / coffin look. So the coffin-shaped nail is when it tapers down to a flat tip that is narrower than the back of the nail. So if you picture a stiletto nail and then cut the pointy tip off so that it's flat at on that end, then that's really a coffin-shaped nail. A squoval is a square nail. If you look at my natural nails, those are closer to a squoval. It's a square nail with the corners rounded. I'm very clumsy and I will constantly scratch myself, so I always have to have rounded corners. It's like baby proofing my nails. It's Shirley proofing. Nice and stiff. That was weird, sorry. Oops, sorry, I should have turned that phone off. Alright, little thick since I had to go with 2 layers of polygel, but we're looking good here. Now, I have only been doing polygel nails for a few months now. I'm just cleaning off the dust here. So I just wanted to make sure everyone understands that I'm not trained in anything nail related or any type of esthetician. This is all just stuff I do for fun. So my nails aren't perfect, but they're sparkly. And I try a lot of random designs that may or may not work. So I really just kind of want to bring you guys along for the ride. If anyone ever has suggestions they'd like to give me for designs to do or tips on doing what I'm doing better, feel free to comment and let me know. I want to read your comments. I want to know what you guys have to say. So we're going to move on to the next nail. And with these glitters, I've got two different kinds of flowers in here. I've got two different kinds of flowers, and I want to use these cherry blossom shaped flowers, the smaller ones, not the big daisies. So I'm just trying to find some that lean more pink to the pink shade. These are iridescent, so they look different colors depending on the lighting, but some definitely trend more pink, some trend more yellow, so I'm looking for the pinky shades, which can be a little tough to find. But in the meantime, you can enjoy the sparkles. Alright, I found 3. We're doing short nails, cannot fit more than 3, so let's put the rest away. Oh, I just saw there's a stray circle in there that's gonna drive me nuts. Put you away for later. There, 3 little cherry blossoms sitting in a dish. Base coat. Oh, now that we're back to the more crisp and non-blurry view, I'm sure you're wondering why I'm doing base coat one at a time on my nails. I am doing one full nail at a time, meaning I do base coat, polygel, top coat on one nail, and then I move on to the next one. I don't always do that, but I get interrupted a lot and have to run and do other things around the house or for my job. So for that reason, I do one whole nail at a time sometimes before I move on to the next one, so that I'm not in a state where I can't use my hand at all. Clearly it's more efficient if you do all the base coat at once, then all the polygels, and then all the top coat. And I will do that in future videos, just not always. All right. Let's get that flattened out. Get rid of the little hole that we had going on there. Cool. Now I don't want to go too long because I'll be putting these glitters on, which means that I'll be limited in how much I can cut or file off after I have hardened the nail in the UV lamp. So let's get our little glitters in here. We're gonna do one diagonal line of cherry blossoms. So again, all my decorations are leaning more towards the pink shade because I know that most of the time this polygel will have the milky white warm color going on. So I want the pink decorations in there to help reinforce the pink color across the nails whenever it is not cold and the tips are not pink. So right now you can see that it's pretty much an ombre sort of look from the pink tip to the white base. Now that it comes out of the nail lamp, it's 100% white from the heat. So let's file around here and get a better shape going. This one turned out pretty square, so I have to do a little bit more filing. And there's only so much of the tip that I can file off. Wipe off some of that dust. top coat. Oh, get some of that off my skin. Definitely don't want that to harden there. Alright, now we're going to move on to the ring finger, and for this we're using these pink glittery shards. I don't know what material this is, but it's like a really thin plastic. So sparkly. Alright. Let's get our base coat going. I love these flat brushes that nail polishes sometimes have. Sometimes you have the more round brush, but these flat ones are great. I'm blessed with a wider nail base, which means I can usually fit a decent amount of nail decorations on the main area of my fingernail, the attached area of my fingernail. But that also means that when I use a rounded nail polish brush or narrower nail polish brush, I have to do a lot of swipes, and I end up with those streaks from the brushes. And that might just be for, you know, affordable nail polishes. Maybe the nicer ones do streak less because they're thicker. But these flat brushes are great because usually just one wide stroke gets my entire nail. So now I've nuked the base coat, and we'll get our temperature sensitive polygel on there. Pat that down. How has your day been going? Are you having a good week? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here today. Little too much polygel on here, so let's cut a bit off. It's like cutting a slice of bread off a loaf. And clean those edges up. Again, I'm trying to get the shape as close to the final shape that I want as possible to minimize the amount of filing I have to do. Let's get that corner shape a little better. And clean up the cuticle. Again, you do not want this polygel on your skin. It's not like it's gonna hurt or anything, but as your skin pulls back from the polygel, it will leave a lip that's gonna get stuck on everything and make it way more likely for your polygel to lift off. Okay, let's press these shards in. And what I want to do is have more shards towards the tip of the nail than the back, so it looks like they're kind of fading off. Let's just get a few of these smaller pieces in there. Oh, hey, if you happen to like cats and fluffy, cute things, one of my cats does have an Instagram, and she is Ophelia the Screamy Kitty with underscores between each word. I will put that in the description, and you guys can go check her out if you want. I try to make sure that Ophelia posts at least once a day. Sometimes she gets a little busy, but she is an adorable orange kitty. Very dumb. So dumb, but cute. Cute dumb. Let's use this one last little piece to fill this space in here. And I got a bit of a bump there that I'm going to have to clean up. There. Not bad. Alright. Now we've put that under the nail lamp for 60 seconds. Ugh, this is getting stuck on my nail again. Or on my finger. Let's peel that paper off. Yucky. Alright, there we go. Not bad. Let's clean the underside up, make sure that's nice and smooth and not stuck to my skin. Again, sorry for going off screen here, but we're just filing the edges down and getting our coffin squoval shape going. There we go. See, if you don't like using the Dremel style nail drills, if you happen to be sensitive to that nails on a chalkboard feeling like I am, it really isn't so bad to just do this manually with a regular nail file. Yes, it takes a little more work and time to get the shape, but just be super detail oriented when you're first putting the polygel down, and try to keep that in as close the shape that you want at the end as possible, and that will really minimize the amount of filing you have to do. Let's trim a little bit of this excess off and a couple little pieces of glitter shards that are sticking out. Yeah, let's flatten that down. There we go. Top coat will take care of any little bits that are left. Oop. Oh, cute. I love it. Alright, top coat time. Let's seal this puppy in. Great, there we go. Let's clean the tacky layer off. Again, I'm doing these one full nail end to end at a time because I did have to stop in between some of this taping to go take care of personal things. Personal things being one of my cats not feeling too hot, and just work things and all sorts of stuff. We get busy, but we still try to find time in between the busy bits to do the things that make us happy. A hobby might take you longer to finish a project, but you can still have that hobby, even if you're super busy. There we go. Clean that up. Cool. Definitely want to use some more of those colors next time. So it's time for the pinky nail, and I really liked how the thumbnail turned out with these glitters, or sorry, these gems and metal bits. So I grabbed another container of little metal pieces that I had, and this one is stars and moons and some pearls instead of gems. Very cute. There's a few little long pieces, like long strips that are slightly triangular in shape, like an angled rectangle, I guess. So let's pick out one of these sparkly stars. Let's see, we'll put a pearl on each end like it's coming off the starburst. There. It's a pinky nail, so you don't have a lot of room in there. I love watching sparkly things go down a funnel back where they belong. Pretty. Okay, base coat. Nail form. Now I know that some of my fingernails are already really close to the final length I'm going for. If your natural nail is already the length that you want, you really don't need a nail form or a dual form at all. You can just put the polygel directly on your natural nail and shape it around the natural nail. It will be a little thicker, clearly, but if it's already the length you want, then you're good. I like using the nail forms because I am going a tiny bit longer than my natural nail, and not all of my nails were the same length. A couple of them got damaged recently and I had to cut them shorter. So I'm using the nail form just to make sure that we have a consistent length for all of them. Okay, let's smooth that out. I probably grabbed too much for this nail, which is not surprising. Got a bit of a hump going on right by the cuticle that I want to smooth out. So let's pull that away. It's definitely a pulling motion more than a brushing motion. I'm using next to no pressure here. Clean up the skin. And once it starts to get a little too tacky and stick to the brush, that's when I reload up on a slip solution or rubbing alcohol. All right, little too much. Let's get that off of there. I've noticed that the thicker you go with the polygel nails, the sooner it starts to lift off. All right, now we've got that milky white straight out of the nail lamp look. Let's smooth it out and get our nail shape going. And we're going to use top coat to stick on the metal starburst and the two pearls. This is a little too long still. There we go. We're almost done, kids. So close. Round the corners, clean it up a little, get that dust off. All right, and now let's get our top coat and start placing our gems. I'm just cleaning out some of the excess dust that got underneath the nail. Okay, top coat. Don't forget to cap it, top coat on the tip. and then go over it once more just so you don't end up with a lump at the end or a bubble. There. All right, let's get the gems in there. Pearl number 1, right at the cuticle area. Honestly, if you just stop here, then just the one gem by the cuticle is a really cute, classy, clean look, I think. But as I said before, I like all the things, so we're going to keep going here with our little starburst. Center that under the pearl, and then we'll do another pearl at the bottom. Yay. Cute, simple. Oh, I love it. Now here's where I noticed if you flip your hand over, you can look at the length of your nails. And I find this to be the easiest way to see if all my nails are the same length. And I realized that my index finger that I did first was way too long. So I'm cutting that down. I'm gonna do top coat on it again. This is probably not advisable, but you know, these are just my own nails for fun, so I'm gonna clean that up by just doing another layer of top coat. I don't want to try to take the whole thing off. Alright, we're gonna use this Cuchillo Natural cuticle oil. It's milk and honey scented. It smells amazing. It smells so good. It's a really light sort of scent. It really is reminiscent of milk and honey, like a very sweet but gentle smell. So I love this stuff. Here's our cuticle oil. Rub that all around the cuticles to help moisturize and protect them, help revitalize them from all that nail lamp use. And here's our finished hand, guys. It's so pretty. Is it too busy? Probably. Do I like it anyway? Yes, I love it. It's not perfect, but I think it's pretty. And here's how it looks when you've got the cold tips going on. A little bit of pink at the tip, fading back to that milky white. And man, this thumbnail is absolutely my favorite. So it's cute. Again, if you're gonna go out somewhere, maybe just do one. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.